Twilight, vampires, romance, and a mix of pure dread. What could be more perfect for the spirit of midnight? Oh, but you think I'm talking about that, Twilight? No, I'm talking about ponies. And one of the most entertaining vampire stories out there I had ever read. Come join me and we'll find out what's so precious about Precious Blood, the family.
Get your kid ass out
Well,
of here.
hello there. I'm Discord Droid Knight, and for Nightmare Night, I figured we'd look at probably my second favorite fanfiction of all time, no joke, Precious Blood. My favorite of all time is obviously Opera Phantom Discord. We'll review that another day. I promise you, I do want to get to that. But honestly, I'm excited to get into this one. And let's just get right into the knit and grit of this one because it's actually a really great story. Arguably, generally one of the best stories ever written, coming from none other than Disney Fnac 2463. Of course, she's more recognized for her work on not only Bride of Discord, but the audio drama Bride of Discord and Daughter of Discord, another property I have got to get back into reviewing. It's on my list. However, just like in those two, despite having a masterful, good story overall, no story is perfect, and there are a few things I do have legitimate criticism over when it comes to this book, but we'll get into that. First, though, let's actually talk about the actual story of Precious Blood. What is Precious Blood even about? Well, you know, I'm a super fan of fluttercord stories, and Disney Fnac is too. So this one is a more adult-oriented, mature story. No joke, despite it being labeled rated T for teen, I do not recommend this story to anyone under 18 due to certain themes that I deem personally inappropriate for young audiences. So there's your warning. I mean, I can't stop you from reading it, obviously, but I have to admit this. I don't recommend this one for anyone under 18. That's just me. But if you are over 18, I definitely highly recommend you give this one a look. Why am I? Because it's a great story for one, and I never said I was going to be kid-friendly, jackass. Meet G4 Jedi Knight. Back to the story at hand, though. Fluttershy, a shy Pegasus, finds herself attracted by a horrible monster of a beast. Dracula, played by Discord. No, I'm not Kane, despite his name not being actually Dracula. I have read the original Dracula story, and I appreciate how the tale truly captures the inspiration and the feel of the original story of vampires. In today's media, vampires went from being these awesome, scary monsters with a truly tragic love story attached to them to, I'm not even kidding, a pathetic joke. So much so that you don't even hear about vampires anymore. And I like how this story truly captures the original feel that Dracula had. What I do like about Precious Blood is despite capturing the truly haunting feel of the old books, it does indeed add a good version of modernization, bringing the story to a new, different elevation. If you get bit by one, do you just turn into a vampire, or do you just get sucked all your blood and die? Vampires in this though, have venom. And they can choose to use that venom or not, turning their prey into vampires or not. So I like that kind of twist, that kind of additive twist that she does to the old vampire lore. Yeah, so she does something actually really kind of cool with that. The structured concepts essentially overall is that original vampires born in this cannot go into the sun, while produced vampires who would just turn into vampires are apparently stronger, so they can just shine in the sunlight, using both tropes to their maximum. But in reality, I cannot deny that I actually hate this so-called trope that vampire able to walk into the sunshine and literally shine. Like, I'm sorry, that is such a stupid trope. Vampires are supposed to die when they meet sunlight, and they can't touch crosses, which, yeah, in the story, it's actually the sun pendant because it's a symbol of Celestia, blah, 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 yada. Yeah, Celestia is not a god, and I actually did a whole video on that. Check out this video. After this video, you can check out that video about why I believe Celestia is indeed not a god. To the main video though. I do like how the author incorporates these tropes far better than, say, Twilight. But let's get to the main story and then we'll talk about the side plots. Fluttershy, who lost her parents when she was little, can't fly, and I really like how that actually gets incorporated into the story and how that can actually connect Discord and Fluttershy being lonely because Discord never knew his parents, Fluttershy never knew her parents. I like how they actually have that connection within the story. It's really, really nice. But because she is now marriage age, her aunt, played by Starlight in this, is trying to find her a suitor, sending word to all of the best suitors in town, including the mysterious Count Discord, who lives in the castle up north. One night on his hunting trip, he goes after a rabbit, Fluttershy's rabbit, running into her, and it's instant love at first sight. Vampires in this actually have a really interesting main laws, and they mate for eternity. Once they find their mate, they actually can't touch them until their mate actually lets them. That's a really, really cool and interesting detail that they actually add to this. And as soon as he actually ends up going for a kiss, on the very first time he sees her, a sudden spark telling him he can't touch her tells her that she's the one and that he has finally found his mate after all these years. Fluttershy, on the other hand, clearly nervous about a monster being literally after her heart, doesn't want to spend the rest of her life as a vampire either, despite meeting him for dinner thanks to her aunt, and Discord trying his best to soothe her nerves, be nice, be kind. Yeah, she runs away terrified when he tells her the truth. And it's one of those things where you kind of feel like he could have told her a lot better, but at the same time, at least he didn't lie to her. So I do like how he's trying to be honest in this situation. But yeah, she's terrified of the idea of trying to be a vampire. So throughout the book, due to him feeling extremely lonely, despite having Twilight and the others that he has to provide for and has to take care of and protect, he's extremely lonely. And because of that, well, how to put this? Yes, but we can't say that on YouTube. Let's just say he wants to go meet Fluttershy's parents. Yeah, let's go with that. But the other girls, Twilight, Pinkie, and the other vampires, they see his kindness. They want him to be happy. His best friends, he's their best friend. Because they know how much he's hurting, they decide to go to Fluttershy and tell her their stories and try to convince her of his kindness. She eventually gives him a chance, all except Applejack, who more or less is kind of trying to sabotage them. And on their first date even, she tries to give Fluttershy a reminder by giving Discord a bottle of blood. Clearly, as an animal lover, she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life hunting down animals, hunting down creatures that she likes. Discord being a monster, he's not going to change his nature. Yeah, that's part of the subplots, but I guess I'll bring it up now. Due to her feelings for Spike, Applejack doesn't want to see either of them hurt and is trying to get in the way of them being together just because of her own feelings towards being a vampire and being in love with, I'm not kidding, a baby dragon. Yeah, Vomitland, take me away. I hate this ship. It's disgusting, and honestly, I find it inappropriate with a lot of problems, but it's handled a lot much better here than in, say, Dara Discord or Bride of Discord. And I think that's because it really is her original work. But I have to be honest with you, I fundamentally disagree with the ship even existing. It's all right for Disney Fanatic to ship this, it's her story. I just fundamentally disagree with it. Even so, I have to admit that it adds a lot of character to Applejack, and it builds up this whole thing of she wanting to do the best she can and be kind and nice to Discord and Fluttershy, and really shows that she is a true friend throughout all of this. I really do like her character arc within this. The next big thing I enjoy about the story is the entire thing with Fluttershy trying to figure out whether she really wants to do this or not. I mean, after all, whether she really does like Discord, becoming his friend, and eventually she does fall in love with them. She also understands that, hey, if she does this, that means she has to die. She has to live as a vampire for eternity with them. And while it's all sweet and everything, what about her own life? And she eventually finds out that she actually wants a family. And I like how the story develops that as well. The fact that Fluttershy realizes she wants a family, and Discord being the undead, you can't give that to her. So, and it's one of those things, well, can't they just adopt? Fluttershy even suggests that, but Discord, thinking the child would never accept him being a monster, doesn't want to. And I eventually like how that gets solved by the end through Scootaloo, this orphan that's on the street that meets Fluttershy, meets Discord, and she actually is really cool. She likes Discord, and Discord becoming this like father figure for her. I really like how that is incorporated in the book and how that kind of resolves Fluttershy's biggest issue of why she might not want to marry Discord after not. I actually really like how that gets solved in the book. And that's the basic rundown of the entire story. Like literally, if it was just that as a story, I would give this a 10 out of 10. I love the concept and the structure of the story, but here's what drags it down, and that is the absolute pointless subplot. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the original B-plot with the whole villain of the story, Trinderhoof, trying to turn, and I like how him going after Fluttershy turns Discord into this protector over her, but essentially do not like how Disney Fanatic portrays Rarity in this and her whole transformation into a vampire. I don't want to go too much into the story because of obvious spoilers, but I can say this. It does give me an idea of what Disney Fanatic sees in these characters, but I do not like, and I fundamentally disagree with how she portrays Rarity. Rarity is just a straight up jerk in this story, and she hates men because of the way she was turned into a vampire. Obviously, she doesn't hate Discord, but she's just essentially nothing like the Rarity I know from My Little Pony, and I do not like how she is portrayed in this book. The same thing with Twilight. I'm not even kidding, while Twilight was portrayed pretty well in Bride of Discord, here in Precious Blood, I do not like Twilight at all. Due to her family being killed by a trio of vampires, she joins the team trying to learn what she can until she's on death's door and then asks Discord to turn her into a vampire, who does so. She is then this revenge-seeking, one-track-minded jerk throughout the entire book. I'm sorry, I do not like how they portray Twilight in this look. I get the whole revenge kind of storyline, and I like what they're doing with that, but I just don't like Twilight's attitude in the book. And then don't even get me started on the romance with Sunset Shimmer. I'm not against gay ships. I'm against poor right. I also don't ship Sunset Shimmer and Twilight, and that might be why I also don't like it. I can't deny that, but fact is, there is no build-up to it at all. There is no chemistry between these two characters at all, and by the end of the book, they're in love. Yeah, sorry, this C-plot between Twilight and Sunset Shimmer just drags down the story to me significantly. And by the end of the book, if it's only there as a push narrative and doesn't have any true substance, then I'm going to not like it. Because someone puts a romance story in something doesn't mean I'm automatically going to like it. It's similar to the way I feel about the ships in Harry Potter, for example. None of the ships in Harry Potter add to the plot. They just slow it down, and that's why in those books, I absolutely cannot stand any of the romance ships. And it's even worse in the movies, no joke. When you're doing romance, it needs to feel just genuine and part of the story. It needs to be an enhancer, not a hindrance. And when it is a hindrance, it's time to trim that section out. The romance between Fluttershy and Discord is well handled, and even Applejack's feelings for Spike play a good role. But Twilight and Sunset Shimmer just come out of left field, and it's really, really jarring to me. And I think that's why I am not really a fan of it. I don't think it really has to do with the ship, because if you wrote it right, I think I would be fine with it, but it's just, it comes out so left field, you don't expect it, and it's just so jarring that it just doesn't make sense, because they just don't seem to have that chemistry within the book, unlike fluttercord. That's just me. And again, I gotta say a little bit, I might just be biased over it because I like fluttercord, and I don't ship Sunset Shimmer with Twilight, but that's just me. Even so, it still gets an 8 out of 10 for me due to the main plots being absolutely so good despite the hiccups. And that's why I'm rating Precious Blood an 8 out of 10. The title, it has double meaning, and you can pick that up when you actually read the story. Essentially, it's blood, being that vampires need blood to survive, and blood is also family. I really like the fact that this whole story gives really a family type of feel, and what's more precious is the whole friendship and family thing. That's what Precious Blood is really about. At least that's how I interpret the message of the title reading the book. But either way, that is my review of Precious Blood for Nightmare Night. And everybody, assuming you're over 18, I highly recommend this thrilling monster book for Halloween. Feel free to give Precious Blood a read. Link in the description below, as well as Disney Fanatics YouTube channel will be in the description below as well. Go check them out. Don't forget to tell me your thoughts, especially if you did review this story. If you did read this story, let me know your thoughts. And with that said, please like, share, subscribe. Check out this video to find out why Celestia is not God. And remember, my friends, beat, beat, beat.